what I'm gonna do today is try to, this is where we had potatoes, and then over there we had some cabbage and lettuce. So I'm gonna try to get all this grass out of here. And to give you an idea of how much rain we had, if you normally you pull up some crabgrass around here and you throw it out, within by that evening it's dried up. Well, this is not an area that has not had crabgrass pulled up. This is where the crabgrass went after it got pulled up about 13 or 14 days ago, and it just all took root again, even though the couldn't shake all the dirt off because it was wet. So I tried to find a decent landscape rake and couldn't find anything that I wanted, and or at a price that I wanted to pay for what I'm going to use it for. So I've got a little old cheap Amazon rake on the back of a Massey Ferguson. I'm gonna take this fence down and try to back in here, get this in a pile, and pull it all out there on the grass, and I can haul it off later. But it shouldn't be, most of it should be fairly easy to come up. But see, even after that amount of days, even though it was pulled, it's already got some roots holding on to it. So first we're going to get all that up, and then take a all-purpose plow, and I'll run through here just to break it up a little bit. And if it does like I want it to, I've got the discs on the cub. I'll make a couple of rows for sweet potatoes, and plant them either, I don't know, I'm gonna wait till right before it rains, so maybe Monday. There's another chance. And you can see the sweet potatoes from where we got our cuttings from before. You can see all these leaves that have had insects on them, and you can see how much these have grown. What put in the trays had a different problem than I had in previous years. Whatever that insect is having a good time this year, and I've still got plenty of them in there, but a lot of them that came up, not only holes like that in the leaves, most of those were covered, but something like cut the edges of the leaves all the way off down to nothing. I think they'll still grow. They got plenty of roots on them. They just don't look very pretty. But I've got plenty of them. Even any extras, I went ahead and started for somebody that asked for some. But doubt if I'll put them in the ground today. Probably do it when she's at work one afternoon, or after she gets home. But want to at least get it ready while it's dry enough. Finally, this is the first time it's been dry enough in probably 2 weeks, something like that. I don't like feeling like I do something twice, but that's what we did up there is pulled all those weeds up, and I thought that rake would do a better job of busting the roots loose. I knew that it had probably started to grow some again with all that rain, and it barely did move any of it. We went back through with that all-purpose plow, and it did pretty good. But after that, when she stopped filming it, we probably spent 15 minutes just going through, and still took about all my weight pulling back on some of it to pop it loose. So it's amazing how fast that stuff can take root again. But we got all it out, and then left a little path to the end, since I don't have a good spot to turn around in there on that narrow little strip. And we got our 3 rows ready for those sweet potatoes. Thought I might put them out there tomorrow, but the rain chances now have dwindled going in the other direction. So we're watching it sometime towards the week. If an evening thunderstorm comes up and will soak them one good time, I'll go ahead and stick them out there. But then on the end, we'll leave it open to where I can cultivate them at least one time before they start to run too far. But the heat was only 76, 77, but it was 99% humidity showing on my gauge out there up until I want to say about 11, and then it started dropping off. And I don't pay any attention to what the heat index is, because I took a front end loader out there and a fork and shoveled all that grass up after we got it pulled out and drug out. And I think it said it feels like 107. Well, it felt a lot better with 66% humidity and 91 degrees, and feeling like 107 than it did earlier when we were out there this morning with it 99% humidity and soaking wet in 5 minutes. But anyway, we got that done, and we'll see if we can't get those sweet potatoes in the ground hopefully sometime this week. Now here's a comparison, looking at these lady peas, or some people call them lady finger peas. I've still got a lot of blooms on these popping up. Still got a lot of peas on the top. And I saw another video somebody had done where they were mentioning peas where they saved the seed and grew them, and calling them turkey toes. And I didn't know what they were talking about, but after I saw them, you can kind of see how that grows up on top. So probably some variety, some of lady pea, because they were growing up on top like this. But very little reaching down to pick these up. These vines keep climbing, keep growing. Most of these need to be picked are waist high or slightly under. And even with me walking down in between them, walking down the vines, you can see how they still just keep on coming back. Now when they get ready to pick, I'll get down here to where there's some, because I picked some up here this morning to finish out what I didn't do yesterday. If there are some that are, one is starting to get yellow, this is the second year growing them, but just go ahead and grab all those. This one's got 3, but one's turning. Grab them all, because if you don't, by tomorrow, you see how there's already some brown ones in here. And if they're brown, if they're crunchy, they won't go through that sheller good. They'll work fine by hand, but I'm not going to try to do a lot of them by hand. So I'll usually discard those dry ones. But like those two right there, they're nice yellow. That's just about what you would want. So also, the other week, about a week and a couple of days ago, we got this area over here ready for the sweet potatoes. So doing a little test, I got some slips that they're standing up there looking halfway decent, starting to get some growth on them, except for that one. And I'm trying to get on the end. It rained about a 1/4 inch a little earlier and got good and muddy. So my plants that I started in that other video are on that line there and that one. And at first glance you'd think they're way behind. We're going to watch them. That's why I wanted to show them today. We'll see if they catch up, since they already had roots on them. And I forgot, down on this end I had some Tom multiplying onions mixed in, and went ahead and plowed through them and healed them, and I got a few of them starting to pop back up that aren't dormant now. We'll see how many I get, but I got another bag of them put away. But that's the difference in these peas. If you want something that's going to last a long time and pick a few here and there about every day, you could. I can give you some good ground cover. Kind of a hybrid between something to eat and a cover crop. These do a good job. Those purple hulls over there, you can see they're not looking real good. The heat and all the production got to them. But the one thing about them is I got a whole lot of peas at one time. I wondered if I was going to make it through the week of shelling them.